Monkeys are quite excited about Milo being near here, and the baboons in the distance. We're going to do a bit more detailed update this time. I can't normally do it during the day at the moment. Just not enough time. The monkeys are... something is disturbing Milo. Anyways, let's get to an update. We start on the Vaal Dam side. The flows above the Vaal Dam has dropped down closer to normal rates, and the total inflow into the Vaal Dam seems to be around the 500 cubic mark. We can unfortunately not confirm that completely because the prediction and detail pages of the dam itself is a blank page. But we know that it has been at 112% down to 106% with an outflow of 848 cubic. Further downstream, the Bloemhof Dam, we can see that the Bloemhof Dam is down to 100.7%. Now this seems quite incredulous considering that it was up to above 115% only a couple of days ago. The outflow is 2000 cubic, and though the page is not complete, there is an indication here. Inflow 1900 cubic, outflow 2000 with a capacity of 102%. Today 12 o'clock, and if we look here, it says today 12 o'clock, but it gives you 100.7%. So I'm not sure what's going on. That might be part of the reason why we're seeing blank pages on a lot of the sites. But anyway, 100.7% within a couple of days of it being 115% is an indication that the full capacity of the dam to reduce the peak flow of the flood is not being used. What more can we say? There's an indication here of an inflow of 2,300 cubic, but I don't really trust many of these numbers, and with that lower dam level, I'm not sure that this is correct. Well, this is a good indication of what's happening. This update, the last update was on the 23rd of February, so it's not been updated. Oh, well, I think I know, we can see why there's blank pages. Let's look at the Garib side, the orange side. The Garib Dam is at 107%, down from 112% was its peak. Well, it could have been a little bit more than that. The outflow is 1040 cubic. Now, if you look at the spill here, 460 cubic, if you take the difference between the total outflow and the spill, the 600 cubic difference is what's being used for electricity generation. You can make the same calculation at Van der Kloof, which usually use about 400 cubic. So if you take the 1200 cubic minus 850, you get about 430 cubic, which is their normal electricity generation flow. If it seems like the orange dams are controlling the flood on that side a lot better than the Vaal, you have to consider that while Aliwal Noord was 4,000 cubic, similar to the flow on the Vaal above Bloemhof Dam, the two dams in the Orange River are much, much bigger than the dams on the Vaal side. The Vaal Dam is a very big dam, big in surface area, but the Vaal and Bloemhof dams, total capacity combined, is the same as Van der Kloof Dam, the smaller of the two dams on the orange side. Anyways, looking at the flows lower on the orange, Katlani seems to be, we seem to have incorrect readings at Katlani, and we're not sure exactly which of these readings are correct. Prishka seems a bit more reliable, 4,600, still at that peak that it showed early this morning. And Uppington is showing 4,400 now, Neusberg 4,200. And for some reason, Blowpits is showing much higher flow than Neusberg and Uppington. Now, for all we know, Blowpits might be the accurate one. Whatever the case is, we are currently using the height marks on the different bridges to see where the levels are going. We also know that the river is much cleaner than it had been for the previous floods, and therefore faster flowing water meaning it will rise to a slightly lower level than otherwise it would have been. Looking at the forecast, it seems that hurricane or cyclone Freddy has diminished a lot in size over the next 3 days, 5 days, 10 days. So most of Freddy is currently lying inside Mozambique, with not much of the influence going into South Africa. And the total 10-day rain forecast for the catchment areas is around 20 millimeters average, which will not cause any significant rise in any river levels. So what this means for the communities on the lower Orange is that the peak that we are seeing at Prieska is most probably going to be the highest peak that we will experience in this flood. And hopefully by now everybody is ready for that peak coming. The expectation is for Uppington to rise another 100-150 millimeters over the next day or two, and then the flow here at Kleinpella, where I am, I'm expecting about another 300 millimeters more or less of rise, and that will not be a problem for us. The same will not necessarily hold true for the communities around Kanoneiland, Keimus and Kakamas, where vineyards, several areas already have flooded vineyards and fields. Let's hope everybody stays safe.
He's being extremely careful. If you haven't seen the episodes about the stumps, I think it was 2 years ago, where there was a stump floating, just sticking out of the water, and he first noticed it quite near to him, and he just ran for the side, swam for the side, and then ran. Anyways, I have a couple of things. Thanks for all the happy birthday wishes. There was a lot of them. Then I want to send the drone over to that side quickly to have a look at, to show you that the bank on that side is quite a bit lower than what our levee is on this side. So if it does break through here, it breaks through on that side, and there's nothing going on there, so there's no damage to anything, and that widens the river here considerably. That's not the case up where the pump station is. At the pump station, the mountain narrows it in, so it's going to rise a bit higher there than it does here. But that's it for now, for this video. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers!